Hi, this is Bill, and you're on Finest Travel Beat with Angela and Bill. Today we're going to take you on board the largest cruise ship at sea, the amazing Royal Caribbean Icon of the Seas. We're going to take you on a complete walkthrough, starting from the bottom of the ship and going all the way to the very top, and show you everything this mega resort has to offer. As in all of our videos, we're going to give you some information, some opinions, some tips, some tricks, and everything we can to make your next cruise on the Icon of the Seas, or your decision to cruise on the Icon of the Seas, a good one. We're going to try to make this video as short as possible, but it is a big ship, so it's going to be a big video. So sit back, relax, grab a drink, and we hope you enjoy this ship tour. Thanks everybody for watching. We're going to jump right into it, as this is going to be a longer video. We are on Deck 5, the Royal Promenade, and what you saw in the beginning of this video was walking into the Royal Promenade, and then we went through the Point and Feather Pub. The Point and Feather Pub is their Irish, English pub. Great tap beer there. They have musicians that play guitars, music there every night. Music in all the venues every night was really good. They also have a dartboard, really comfortable seating, and the service was fantastic. When we were on it, that was pretty much our go-to lounge on this ship, just because the service and the entertainment was so much fun and so good. As you'd expect, there are lots of shops on the ship. Here is the duty-free shop where they will sell alcohol and cigarettes. The higher-end stuff may be a decent value. I find in general the alcohol on cruise ships not worth the price. I'm going to walk towards the aft of the ship now, and we will get back to the Royal Promenade, show you the rest of Deck 5 and all the venues. But one of the neatest features is coming up here. You'll see it on the newer cruise ships of Royal Caribbean, also on some MSC ships. They're called destination elevators. The elevator lobbies, first of all, they're huge. This whole area right here is an elevator lobby. No more jamming, no more crowding. And you actually go up and you hit this button on here. You select the deck you want to go to, and it tells you which elevator you should go to. So when you walk to the elevator, the letters are on the elevators, you'll get on in, and generally will take you either directly to your floor or to, maybe one or two stops. It eliminates overcrowding. It eliminates people jamming in elevators, being rude, the bum rush. This is one of the neatest features. There is no more stress on elevators on this ship. Embarkation day, debarkation day, not a problem either way. Now we're going to walk back towards the main dining room. Typical main dining room, just show you around here a little bit. They have several types of dining. There's traditional dining, early, late seating, and my time dining as well. Now, I've been watching the channel for a while. Angela and I generally don't comment on the quality of food. It's too subjective, too individual. But there's just a little menu of the brunch, just to give you a little idea when this was filmed, the types of things that you can get on the brunch menu. And other than the drinks, this is all included in your cruise fare. Now we're going to start walking back forward. On the right here is the next cruise desk. This would be where you're able to book a next cruise. The nice thing about this is they're very helpful. They're experts on it. If you book on board, you'll get pretty much the same pricing as you would working with your travel advisor or working with us. But you do get a little extra onboard credit, and you can it will be assigned to your travel advisor. So when I have a client that goes on board, they book there, I get notified, I can handle the booking and make sure that the lowest pricing possible. Then I stairway that goes up to Deck 6, which is good because there's venues up and above and below, which you'll see. Over on the left there was guest services. Try to avoid that on the first day or the last day of your cruise. Also, as I say in every video, check your guest accounts regularly. If there's an error, go to guest services and they'll help you out. This is a really, really neat thing. It's called the Pearl. This is the wow factor. It's a staircase, very Instagrammable. That's a word, I guess. One thing I found out very interesting from a friend of mine is it's actually structural, where it actually supports part of the decks of the ship. In behind the Pearl is an interesting area. This is the photo studio. Rather than having a big photo area where they print the pictures out and display them on the wall, they have iPads. This is also a shore excursion desk back here. So they have these iPads you'll look through. If you have a photo package, you can order your photos. If you want to purchase them, you can do that as well. Kind of in a weird spot that is kind of buried behind the Pearl. You have to look for it. But again, they maximize space in here. So I kind of like that they do that. Continuing on the left is there another one of the shops. This would be where you have the basic retails, Crown and Anchor Society stuff, and the logo merchandise, ship models, mugs, T-shirts, things of that nature. And there is Angela. We are going to head now out of Angela's favorite place, the gift shop, and walk across the Royal Promenade to her second favorite place in the world, which is Starbucks. The Starbucks on this is much like the other Royal Caribbean ships. It is a full Starbucks. I have all of the favorite drinks you're probably looking for from your local Starbucks. Also, you should know that it is not included with any drink package, so anything you purchase there is at an additional cost. Tucked in kind of behind the escalator that goes down to Deck 2 and to Deck 4 is the 1400 Lobby Bar. This is a really nice spot because it's tucked behind the elevators and stuff. It was kind of a little on the quieter side. Lots of comfortable spaces there. There's also easy access to the promenade deck outside. Now here's a good view of the Pearl. Like I said, this is really, they have Icon of the Seas things set up there for people to Instagram. They do different lighting effects on this. Really, really beautiful. And like I mentioned earlier, it's actually structural, which I found out and a lot of people don't know. It actually supports the decks above it. But this is definitely one of those wow factor things. Royal Caribbean has gotten really, really good at this on their new builds. Continuing to walk forward on the ship, you'll see outside of the logo shop is some tables where they have various jewelry items and stuff. They did do some pop-up shops, but because Royal Promenade is so big, it never got crowded like it does on some of the smaller ships. In here is another one of the shops. Here you can see some Louis Vuitton handbags, things like that. As you've seen me say on a lot of my videos, know your pricing before you purchase anything of expense on a cruise ship. On the right is Spotlight Karaoke. That is just as it says. It's a full karaoke bar. Nice size, nice bar in there. They did have other events in there as well. Karaoke generally going on at night. During the day, they had some other different smaller events going in there. Trivia, things like that. Name that tune would happen in here. Across from Spotlight Karaoke is everybody's favorite option for LNP, late night pizza, Sorrento's. There is a full Sorrento's on the Icon of the Seas. Also, I'll point out on the right, you'll see there are freestyle Coke machines. The freestyle Coke machines, if you purchase the soda package, you'll get a cup with a code on the bottom of it that you can use. There's over 100 types of sodas you can get. On our sailing, that was up most of the time. I will warn you though, those freestyle Coke machines tend to be out more than they work. But if it's not working, you can go up to any bar with the package and they'll fill your soda cup up for you. Real quick, I just want to show you a couple of the retail shops that are next to Sorrento's. You have your Effie here. That's kind of interesting casino collection. I'm not going to show you a whole lot of the shops. I get a lot of complaints on that for some reason. But I do like to show people an idea of what type of things are able to be purchased on the ship so that they know. And then next to it here is a shop where you'll get perfumes, different personal care items, makeup, things of that nature. All the way forward on, again, this is all on Deck 5, is the elevator lobby. As you can see, the elevator lobbies are absolutely huge. No crowding whatsoever. Royal Caribbean really knocked out of the park with this. Here's a Royal Theater. We'll show you that in a little bit, but I just kind of want to show you the fitness center. This is in a little different spot on here. You actually have to go, it's on the other side of the Royal Theater, which is interesting enough. You can see the signage there. You're going to go off towards your right through the doors. There is a jogging track on the outside, which we're coming up to now. There's a combination jogging track and also some spots to sit. There's some little alcoves where they had table tennis and things like that. But as you can see, if you walk all the way forward here, you're going to end up into the fitness center. During our travels, we were lucky enough to run into Rover. Rover is the Icon of the Sea's chief dog officer, and actually, very coincidentally, ends up being our golden retriever's aunt, believe it or not. Just a quick note, we're walking all the way to the front of the ship. This jogging track does go all the way around the ship. Not 100% sure how long it is as far as miles, but it's pretty damn long. As you can see, they have some equipment set up because on the left actually is the Royal Theater. So they have a lot of the production equipment at least then tied up there. And then the fitness center is to your right all the way on the forward part of the ship. Now, with the number of people that are on the Icon of the Seas, all the spaces need to be pretty large, and the fitness center is no exception. Decent amount of space in there to walk around. You can see that there are a lot of people using it, working off the buffet and stuff, but you can see there are plenty of machines. There's weight machines, there's ellipticals, there are treadmills. It doesn't have the that some ships have, like the floor-to-ceiling windows you're looking at, but there are porthole windows in front of a lot of the machines. Now we're going to walk up the stairs to deck 6, actually. Up here on deck 5, they have some seminar areas, good foot analysis. We always joke about the good feet store. Also some exercise bicycles set up there, and some rooms for seminars that they will do on acupuncture, things like that during the cruise. This space may have changed a little bit since we were on the ship. And if it has, let us know in the comments below, because it seems kind of a little disjointed. But again, we're up on deck 6 now, walking towards the back of the ship. Also located on deck 6 forward is the Diamond Club. This is for Diamond and Diamond Plus members of the Crown and Anchor Society. Angel and I aren't there quite yet. We're hoping to be Diamond members at some point during the year. And then we'll be able to go in there and show you about it. Up here on deck 6 is there's sculptures all over the place. The sculpture's kind of cool. That was a pop-up, the Voom, to help you get set up with your internet. Normally the internet desk is down by guest services. Over here is dueling pianos. Typical dueling piano bar, something like a Pat O'Brien's if you've ever been to New Orleans. They have 2 people playing piano, taking requests. Fun place. Big venue, but I'll warn you, it gets packed. People tend to go in there either right after dinner or whatever, and they kind of took up residence and were there for most of the cruise. So if that's something you want to do, pick a night, get there a little bit early, maybe have dinner a little bit earlier, hang out with your friends and have a great time. Walking back on deck 6, you can see this is kind of a overhang on the Royal Promenade. Off to the right here, you're going to see in a second, is kind of a space where they have bands. Several nights during the cruise, they'll have things like a balloon drop and different parades and major events in the Royal Promenade. That is where they will, the band will play, or they'll do emceeing from. Off to the left here is Giovanni's. That is another one of Royal Caribbean's. It's the Italian specialty restaurant. Not included in your basic cruise fare, but it is available as part of a dining plan, or you can go there a la carte. Nice spot. Not 100% sure whether it being open to the Royal Promenade is the greatest idea in the world. If there's events going on, it's probably going to be a little bit noisy in there. I'm not sure. We did not eat here. If you've been on the ship and you've had dinner in Giovanni's, please let us know in the comments whether the noise level became an issue or not. regardless, so we usually do like Giovanni's. If we're going to, especially restaurant, Italian, and steakhouse is usually our first two choices. Nice menu. Food is always very, very good. Italian is classic. They do have some pizzas on here, as well as the standard Italian favorites. Continuing aft is the Schooner Bar. If you've been on a Royal Caribbean ship, you know what the Schooner Bar is. It's a nautical themed venue. Lots of seating in here. Seating, as you can see over on the right side, that kind of overlooks the Royal Promenade. Seating on the inside, comfortable seats, a piano. A lot of times they'll have somebody doing piano there. As you can see, this trivia, they do a lot of trivia in the Schooner Bar, as they would on all Royal Caribbean ships. This bar opened a little bit later on, so the bar isn't open. This venue did tend to get a little crowded. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention is that it is right across from Boleros, which is a Latin-themed music venue. One of the things that Royal Caribbean did was they wanted to create the Royal Promenade to be someplace that you could walk through, and as you heard music, you say, hey, I want to go in there and listen to some music, so you would go in. What we found in reality was that if you were sitting on the outside of any of these venues or close to the Royal Promenade area, the music tended to bleed in from the other venues, so it was a little distracting, a little annoying. My understanding is they've fixed it a little bit, that it's not as bad. But again, if you've been on Royal Caribbean Icon Seas recently, let us know in the comments whether that was an issue or not. Now, we are still on Deck 6. We're going back towards, on the right there is Adventure Ocean. This is something completely changed on the Icon class of ships. The area back here used to be known as the Boardwalk. The Boardwalk area was kind of like a Coney Island Boardwalk. Really, really neat, but it was kind of rethemed, where now it is more of a family zone. Used to have the Aqua Theater back here. The Aqua Theater is no longer in the back of the ship. And Angel's telling me no on the art auction, Park West art auction. We'll see that Surfside area a little bit. We're walking now, though, back towards the entrance to the to Playmakers Sports Bar. As you'll see in a couple of seconds, they have another place here where it's like logo gear, but it's kind of higher end, a little more expensive logo gear. You'll see the golden chalice a little bit later in the video, and I'll explain that. Playmakers is their typical sports bar that is on most Royal Caribbean ships, not all of them. Nice big venue. Some games. They have foosball. They have video games. Also, waiter service. The light snacks, burgers, wings, things like that, pretzels, not included. It's an additional cost. It's not really all that bad. Plenty of TVs, good bar service. What we found on our sailing was because it was kind of buried in behind things, a lot of people didn't know it was there. So it was a pretty good spot. Did not get overly crowded. Later on in the cruise, it got more crowded as the secrets got out. Part of what we try to do on our videos is kind of tell you where people aren't, which is how Angela and I cruise. We try to find the spots that are quieter. Early in the cruise, we'll go there. When people start finding out about it, that's when we'll go to the more popular areas on embarkation day. We try to be where other people aren't. That's just us. Move on, just show you they have a shuffleboard table and they also have a pool table. Shuffleboard's one of my favorite things to play. I absolutely love it. And as they also have some of the video games there. We're going to come back and show you the Surfside family area a little bit later in the video, but let's finish up the inside parts on Deck 6 first. Or should I say, show you the other half of Deck 6. On the left here, and again, this is across from the schooner bar now, so you have your bearings, is Boleros. Boleros is their Latin-themed bar and lounge. Really good music there. Comfortable seating. Everywhere on the ship, the seating was really nice. We like to sit either towards the back or towards the front overlooking. But here at the bar there, they make excellent mojitos, different rums. Service was excellent. There were a couple of wait staff there that really went out of their way. Music was great. Music could be a little loud at sometimes, but in general, the music was great. Great place to relax, excellent drinks, and just comfortable seating everywhere. The ship, you can see the ceiling has different lighting. It's just absolutely, absolutely beautiful. For a ship as big as it is, that holds as many people as it is, it never really felt overcrowded, and you'll see that through the video. Other than a couple of venues I'll tell you about a little bit later in the video, a couple of issues. Other than that, never felt overcrowded. Located around the corner from Boleros is the Pearl Cafe. We'll get to that in a second. But this is the top side of the Pearl. A lot of people took pictures there. One thing I'll tell you is just kind of hold on. The stairs were a little bit not as steep as most stairs are. So we noticed a couple of people kind of stumbled a little bit trying to get their footing, especially if you were elderly or had any mobility issues. Hold on to that. But again, great spot for those pictures. Here is a newer venue. I believe this is the first Pearl Cafe on any Royal Caribbean ship. This was great. They had, you could see different pastries, different sandwiches. Really, really nice, quick grab and go. You could get coffee here as well. Some dessert items, and service was excellent. Donuts, things like that. This was really kind of a go-to when things got a little bit crowded. Also, around the corner there, as you can see, there are some grab-and-go salads, plates, sandwiches. The sandwiches were really, really good. And this was very often, rather than going to pizza late night every night, I'd grab a sandwich on the way back to the room, and we were done for the evening. Now, towards the back here, again, this is on deck 6, is the attic. The attic is their comedy show. We did not see a show here. It was not a large venue. Hey, Soldar. You have to book these in advance, or lucky enough to get tickets on board. Booking tickets for shows on Royal Caribbean Amosum begins the first day of the month before sailing. So if you're sailing, say, on June 15th, you'll be able to book your shows on May 1st. If you have questions on that, that's one of those that your travel advisor will be able to help you out with. And obviously, if you're a client of mine, you'll get all that type of information far in advance. We jumped up to deck 8 now. This is the Central Park area. This area is absolutely gorgeous. These are real plants. They have full-time people on board taking care of the plants. There's over 20,000 plants. Those rooms up there I'll talk to you about in a little bit, but those are Central Park infinite balconies. Those are cabins that overlook the Central Park area. Another option for you, generally a little bit more economical than ocean view balconies. Over on the right there, as you just saw, is Chops Grill. That is their specialty steakhouse. Most people are pretty familiar with that. They have indoor and outdoor seating there. Located next to Chops Grill also there is the Trellis Bar, another good spot. Plenty of bars and lounges. There is just a view. They have some interesting divers. They look human. It looks like they're going to dive into the Central Park area, which probably isn't recommended. And I'm not sure that I would encourage that type of behavior if I was Royal Caribbean, but I digress. Again, 20,000 different plants in there. Very, very peaceful. You do get actual birds in this area. Over here is Izumi in the park. Here is kind of a grab and go sushi. It is not included. It's an additional cost, but there is sushi that you can get on kind of like a to-go basis rather than actually sitting down in the restaurant on the inside. You get at the window and then just bring it to one of the tables in the Central Park area here. We're going to walk into Izumi Hibachi. Let me just tell you a little bit about those Central Park balconies. They're called infinite balconies. They don't have the traditional balcony you step out into. They have floor-to-ceiling windows that kind of, the top part kind of rolls down in half. They're interesting. I have videos on infinite balconies on the channel if you want to check those out. Angela and I love them. Some people hate them. Watch the full videos and you'll see whether it's right for you or not. Angela and I tend to spend a lot of time in the Central Park area. It was really peaceful, really nice place to go after dinner and just kind of relax. Here is one of our favorites, the Park Cafe. This is, if you've been on any of the Oasis class ships, you're familiar with it. They have different sandwiches, juices. The roast beef sandwich, I'll call it, it's Kummel Witz or something like that. You see, it's a big hunk of beef that they will carve up for you, put them on rolls with a little bit of gravy. When we're on this class of ship, that's our first stop for lunch, and that'll be lunch a couple of times a week. Absolutely one of the best roast beef sandwiches that I've ever had. Again, I'm not going to try to butcher the name, but try it. Trust me, you'll like it. Also, with kids on the ship, the Central Park area was where a lot of kids tend to hide ducks. So if you're into the duck hunting game, that's probably someplace that you want to check out. And of course, there are the high-end shops that you can spend some money at. Here is a watch store. I guess if you're going to do Central Park theme, you might as well have some of Fifth Avenue on there as well. And across from these shops is another venue called Lou's Jazz and Blues. Not much going on here during the day, but at night it becomes alive. Some really good jazz music, blues music. Not a huge fan of jazz personally. If you are, you will love it. But quite honestly, it grew on me. It was, a couple times, like I said, we sat in those chairs outside afterwards, just kind of relaxed. The music was excellent. The bands were really good. Entertainment in general on the Icon of the Seas really is second to none. Now, walking aft out of the Central Park area on deck 8, you're going to enter the Surfside area, Surfside family area of the ship. This is actually kind of a deck above, as you see when we walk through the doors. But again, the Icon of the Seas is set up into various neighborhoods. I'll explain a little bit more of that as we go on in the video. But the design is to keep people kind of separated. This area we really liked. It's similar to the old boardwalk area, if you're familiar on the Oasis class ships. Up on deck 8 here, there is... you can see sunshine and sundries. We can buy different sunscreen, things like that. This area back here is really geared towards families and children. Some little toys and stuff like that. Things children can play with. Different, as you can see there, sunscreen. Buy your sunscreen in advance. I preach this on every video. Sunscreen is extremely expensive on cruise ships or when you travel to resort. Lots of stuff here for littles. Angela and I recently became grandparents to our little Brooklyn. She's our pride and joy, and we can't wait to get her on some of these cruise ships and buy all kinds of crap for her. Now, the Surfside family area is actually located on deck 7. As you can see, there's a little slide there that the kids can take down to deck 7, or you can walk the stairs. If you've met me in person, you'll know I've walked the stairs. But really bright theming here. Beautiful area. Most of the balconies you can see, there's balcony cabins that face the Surfside family area as well. These are traditional balconies. These also tend to be a little bit less expensive than ocean view balconies. But if you get one of the balconies all the way in the back, you can actually see a little bit of the ocean too. This area does get a little bit noisy during the day, so you may want to keep that in mind for littles for nap time and stuff like that. But I heard it's not too bad. Arcade here, different arcade games. They kind of keep all the family stuff back here. Again, these arcade games are not free, so make sure you're monitoring your kids' sale and sign card or whatever the card they're calling it these days. To make sure that you don't have a $5,000 arcade bill. They had a lot of different pop-up events here. They do face painting, as I think she's doing face painting right there, yeah. A little merry-go-round. They had different cotton candy and popcorn pop-ups. Unfortunately, a lot of this stuff they did charge for. Cotton candy and popcorn, stuff like that. Here is a candy shop. Obviously, everything in there is not included. That's an additional cost as well. Love Royal Caribbean. They are very good at getting you to spend your money on board, though. Again, just a fun area. You can see there's different jungle gym type of things. A little miniature ropes course for the littles. Different small slides. There's plenty to do. Again, this area back here used to be the boardwalk area on the Oasis class ships. It's been kind of converted a little bit. There, in all the way in the back there, you'll see is a big water play area with the bucket, which our other grandson Vladimir is not a fan of the bucket of water on his head. That's another story for another day. Back here is Pier 7. This is another venue. It's a new venue for the Icon of the Seas. It's kind of a California menu, California cuisine. They have things like fish tacos, mango, lime, shrimp tostadas, different brunch favorites. We did not eat in here. Again, this is also an additional cost. California food is not exactly our favorite, but it is another option for you, especially if you want to stay down here with the family for the day. We try not to film too many children on a ship, but I just want to show you real quick this water area back here. This is great for littles, especially ones that may not be able to use traditional pools because they're not diaper trained yet. Lots of wet areas, some little mini slides, water bucket, plenty of stuff. Now, for the bigger kids, there is a bar back here known as the Lemon Post. They have a variety of non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages as well. Some interesting drink choices. Pretty much every bar has something that's unique to it, which is kind of nice. If you have the drink package, you can try different things, and some things you like and some things you might not. Walking back towards the front of the ship, you'll see there's one of those freestyle Coke machines, so it was temporarily out of water. It's not a Royal Caribbean thing. Those machines just tend to be out of water. Angela and I have annual passes to Universal, and I would say 50% of those time, those don't work. Those juices at that juice bar, though, they are included. There is no additional cost to that. You can get apple juice and various other juices. Here also is, this is a real nice option for lunch, Surfside bites. The things in here are also included. They have churros, hamburgers, hot dogs, some light stuff. So again, the whole family can really spend quite a bit of time back here, relax and let the kids run around and play. You can have a drink or two, some food for everybody. There's also an ice cream thing there, free ice cream. That's probably Angela's third favorite thing behind shopping and Starbucks. Maybe not necessarily in that order. There's a towel station there where you can sign out towels, sign them back in. Make sure you sign your towels back in. They will charge you at the end of the cruise if you have towels signed out that you haven't properly signed back in. Now, we're going to go into an area known as the Surfside Eatery. This is a mini buffet. It's, again, located in that Surfside area. Freestyle machines working there. This is also a spot where you can get juices, water, coffee. Coffee is included at the buffet areas. But you can see here they have some... not a full buffet. They have some snacks there, some watermelon, some small pizzas. They had chicken fingers, some lighter options. Again, not a full buffet, but a nice spot to if you want to get the kids a little something to eat, or you want to grab a little something to eat while you're down in this area. This is another one of those options. Again, Royal Caribbean doing a really good job at separating people out on this huge cruise ship. I think they did an excellent job with the Surfside family area, especially for kids with littles and toddlers. As you can see, you can enter on Deck 8 and walk down, Deck 7 straight across, or go down to Deck 6 to the Royal Promenade, 3 entrances to this area back there. That woman creeped me out a little bit. It looked so real. The first time we walked by, we were like, is that somebody like creeping and taking a picture of us? But it wasn't. Now we're going to take you down to Absolute Zero. This is their ice skating venue. A little odd to get to. It is on Deck 6, and it's behind Playmakers. So you pretty much have to go through Playmakers Sports Bar to get to the ice skating venue. The layout of this is a little bit different. It's round. Most of the other ice skating venues on the Royal Caribbean ships is more of a rectangular, like an ice hockey shape. This is in a round. Watching the shows, it did seem like they could get a little bit more speed on this thing. Again, the ice skating is absolutely amazing on these ships. The performers are fantastic. Many of the performers are former Olympians from various countries. The shows are all well produced, and definitely a highlight if you, whether you like ice skating or not, just watching the quality of these people is absolutely amazing. Okay, now we're going to take you up to deck 15. This is in the front of the ship. Now, those of you that are familiar with the Oasis class ships knows that the Aqua Theater used to be back in that boardwalk area, or the family area in the back we just showed you a couple of minutes ago. This one, they've moved it all the way to the front of the ship, and it's enclosed in a dome. The dome makes it so that they can perform in rain and things like that. Right here is the AquaDome Market retail shop. This is where they have some incredible stuff, including the chalice, which costs $100,000. You can see it right there. That's the gold chalice. It is solid gold. It costs $100,000. The advantage of this is it comes with a lifetime Royal Caribbean drink package. So you'll have to do the math and see whether that's worth it. But again, apparently they sell quite a few of those. All the jewelry in here is Royal Caribbean themed. Very high-end, not inexpensive by any stretch of the imagination. Going to walk around this area a little bit and show you some of it. At the end, we'll have some clips of the shows in the Aqua Theater that you can see. We'll show you that, and we'll kind of give you our final thoughts at the end. But just want to show you the venue itself. Now, my suggestion is, first of all, you have to reserve times for this. Reserve it as early as possible. The other thing is, you can see it's stadium-style seating, bench type of seating. Get there early. If you have a show at 8:30, try to get there by 8 o'clock. Even with reservations, it tends to fill up pretty quickly in here. On the right is the rye and bean. You can get here drinks, and you can also get some specialty coffees here as well. Not a bad spot during the day. When the Aqua Theater was going, it tended to get a little bit crowded. And also back here is a bar back there, which we didn't discover till like the end of our cruise. There's a little bar there, and there's also seating areas. Again, this is front of the ship. Beautiful, beautiful area, undiscovered. We didn't even know about this ship till pretty far along on our cruise. It's called the Overlook area. If we had known about this, we would have been here a lot earlier. Probably gets a little bit warm during the day, but beautiful. I mean, just look at the LED screen with the fish and things like that. Just amazing theming. But again, hidden spots all over this ship. The first day on it, explore. There are so many spots that you wouldn't even know about if you didn't explore. We hope you're enjoying this video so far. I'm trying to keep it as short as possible and show you the ship. There is so much of the ship to show that it's almost impossible. If you have any questions, specific questions, throw them in the comments below. We love interacting with you all and answering your questions. We really love cruising, and we like sharing that and sharing the information with other people. This is an interesting spot here. We weren't sure. At first we thought is that a hot tub up there? But it is not. You walk up a couple little steps there, and this area is called the Overlook Pods. Just again, another little seating area up here that you really wouldn't know about. Real quiet area there. You can see you guys got his GoPro set up, just kind of maybe doing some filming for the background or whatever. But again, even though it's a large ship, there are places you can go that aren't overcrowded. So that's important to note. A lot of people think that just because it's a large ship that it's a cattle call. It's not. Up here adjacent to the Aqua Theater, in the AquaDome area, is Hooked Seafood. This is another specialty dining venue, not included. This is seafood, a little more on the casual side. It's not, don't think of a fancy, high-class restaurant to steakhouse. A little bit more of a casual type of feel to it. We've eaten in Hooked Seafood on another ship. We thought it was okay. Not our favorite venue. But if you've eaten in Hooked Seafood and really enjoyed it, also let us know. We don't do a whole lot of food reviews on our cruises because it's subjective. When we base our food is pretty much on, is it done to the right temperature? In other words, is medium done medium, medium rare done medium rare? Does it have flavor at all? And also, is it served warm, or is it coming out like it's set under a hot plate and dried out? Now, this is an interesting venue. This is the AquaDome Market. This is a new concept. It's a food hall, food truck type of concept. There are 5 different stations or restaurants with different things going on. There's the Feta Mediterranean, which has Greek favorites like hummus, grilled chicken, Greek salads, pita bread. Ginger, which is a noodle and Korean barbecue option. There is also Max, classic comfort food, mac and cheese, lobster mac and cheese, vegan options, things along that line. Toast and Garden, healthier options. This vegetarian-friendly dishes, open-faced toast, salads, things of that nature. And then the creme de la crepe, dessert, crepes made to order with Nutella, strawberries, banana. They even have breakfast crepes here some mornings, I believe. We're continuing on deck 15, and we're taking you out to one of the outer decks now. We're finally on the outside of the ship. Yay! This area is known as Chill Island. This is one of the neighborhoods. I'll go over all the neighborhoods. You've seen some of them already. Some you haven't. On the left there's ping pong. I always laugh ping pong on a moving cruise ship. But up here you can see this is plenty of lounge chairs here. There's no large main pool. This is similar to the Oasis class ships where the area, the Central Park areas and the boardwalk areas kind of take up the middle of the ship and kind of separate the two sides out. Here, plenty of seating. I like the fact that they have those chairs that aren't necessarily lounges. I'm not a fan of sitting in a lounger. I have trouble getting up from them, quite honestly. So it's nice that they have some options here that are just chairs that you can sit in, read a book, or even just put your stuff down on. Now, again, just so that you have your bearings, we are walking aft towards the back of the ship. This is the port side, or the left side as you're looking from the back of the ship to forward. Over here across, plenty of seating areas there. Angela wants to walk in front of the camera, but that's okay. This is one of the bars. This is the lime and the coconut bar. Great frozen drink options there. Lime and the coconut has become kind of a standard on the newer Royal Caribbean ships. And now for your musical interlude. Very nice. And thank you for that, Angela. Maybe you can go to the salon and see if they can hook you up with some dreadlocks. As you can see there, we're looking down again from deck 15 down to the Central Park area. We'll get the area across in a little bit, but here there's a whirlpool up there that you can use as well. Again, they kind of do a lot to split people up. No huge main pool area. For those who are still watching the video, thank you so much for your support. We're really trying to cut this video down. You would not believe the amount of footage that I've already eliminated. Here we have one of our favorite venues, El Loco Fresh. This is a Mexican option. This is included in cruise fare as well, not an additional cost. You have the salsa bar over there. They have things like quesadillas, tacos, basically all of your Mexican favorites. There's also the Cantina over here, which is a bar where you can get your regular drinks and also some Mexican specialty drinks. As you can see there, they have stuff kind of ready to go. This can get a little bit crowded at times. It's a very popular option. Great to grab some nachos and stuff like that if you're a little bit hungry after a day swimming or out at port. Remaining on deck 15, we're going to go around to the starboard side of the ship, the opposite side, and we're going to be walking forward back towards the Aqua Theater. On the left there you can see is another one of the pool areas. This area is known as the Royal Bay Pool. There's a few whirlpools located around here as well. We're just going to walk a little bit, kind of show you the scale of it real quickly. But if you're enjoying this video so far, please hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe to this video. We have over 200 videos on the channel, many cruise ships, most of the Royal Caribbean cruise ships, celebrity. We do videos on shore excursions, different ports we've been to. We have a series on the British Isles, the Mediterranean. We're going to have series we're doing Alaska this year. It's going to be a whole series about Alaska cruise tours, and then other videos in there. And we try to keep all of our videos informational. We try to give you information that you need that you're not finding someplace else. This was a nice pool. It was kind of, I guess, I don't know if I call it a zero entry because there are some steps there, but it was not deep at all. Angela and I love pools that are, kind of shoulder width length or chest height. We find on a lot of cruise ships, and this is something you'll see on our videos as well. The pools are 7 feet deep. I don't understand it. I can't, for the life of me, explain why you would put a 7-foot pool on a cruise ship that people are all hanging on to the stairs, trying to balance a drink or whatever. People aren't diving in these things. Next to the this Royal Bay pool is another lime in the coconut. There's one on both sides. Similar types of stuff. This one seemed to get a lot more crowded than the one that is on the port side. I think it was just because it's kind of more open to that bay pool area. Continuing on deck 15, this is also towards the aft section. In general, fun is in the front, so your theater is in the front and food is in the back. On most cruise ships, the restaurants and the buffets tend to be towards the back of the ship. This is the Windjammer Marketplace. There are two sides to it, kind of. There's this one section, and it kind of wraps around on both sides. This is, we're not going to spend much time on this. This is your typical buffet that you'll find on a cruise ship. The only thing is, on embarkation day, usually they do, on this ship, they'll do things like lobster tails and shrimp on it as well. Okay, folks, we're up to deck 16 now. This neighborhood is known as Thrill Island. Up here, you're going to have a little bit more of your active type of stuff. Deck 15 is more of the chill, relaxing vibe. Up here is a little bit more active. Here on the right is the desserts and milkshake bar. This is not included in your cruise fare. Deserted milkshake bar is an additional cost, but you can see they have some really, really nice options there. And they also have some of them that are alcohol related, that have alcohol in them. So there's kids options and there are adults options as well. Located next to Deserted Milkshake Bar is another new dining venue known as Base Camp. Base Camp is an additional cost. You'll see there's a theme. There's a lot of included things here, but there's a lot of things that are also additional. Base Camp here, you'll see they have, there's a few things here that I believe are included. I believe the hot dogs and stuff on the bottom are included, but they have things like waffle chicken nuggets, Wisconsin cheese curds, shrimp al buns. Those are a little bit different, more expensive. Pretzels are included. We tried some of the additional cost options. With all the food that's on the ship, I don't know that it was really worth it to us. Back here, again, on the whole Thrill Island part is Adrenaline Peak. This is, they have a rock climbing wall, as well as some other activities. Walking towards the back of the ship, continuing towards the back of the ship here is the Base Camp bar. You'll see that. Plenty of seating here. Love the theming, love the colors. I think Royal Caribbean's really knocked out of the park with that whole tropical feeling. There is a bar back there. That bar tended to get very crowded as well, just to kind of let you know. We try to film when there's not a ton of people around on the ship. We want you to get an idea of what the crowds look like to a certain degree, so we don't film at 3 a.m., but also we don't want to be getting in people's way either, so we kind of try to balance that. On the right is miniature golf. Angela and I always say we're going to play miniature golf, and we've yet to play miniature golf, but this one has a really, really neat miniature golf course here. And located back over here for your thrill seekers, they have several water slides. That's the entrance to them. As you can see, they all go through various loops and they exit out on the other side. You'll see that in a couple of minutes. Finishing up, walking all the way towards the back of the ship, this area is known as the Hideaway. The Hideaway pool is actually the first suspended infinity pool at sea. It is 15 decks above. It's adult-only area. Originally, this was not going to be an adult-only area. They switched some things around, but it is an adult-only area. As you can see, there's a couple of hot tubs there, and then you walk down some steps to the Hideaway pool itself. Now, this was really neat. A great spot for a picture. Beautiful views. A couple of things I'll say about it is I think it could have been a little bit deeper. It was really, if you stood up, it was barely waist length, so you kind of had to squat there. Also, you can't see it from this video because, again, we filmed wasn't too crowded. Tend to get pretty crowded in there. And, well, beautiful views. Really, really nice on a sea day to look out there. Honestly, not our favorite spot. I think that pool could have been a little bit deeper. If it was just a little bit deeper, it'd be a little more comfortable. But it was kind of an in-between height that was just not... we didn't care for it. If you've been on the Icon and been back here, let us know your thoughts. Are we being overly picky with it? And around the corner from the Hideaway pool is the Hideaway bar, where you can get some drinks there as well. Nice seating spot back here as well. We didn't find that the lounge shaking was a real problem on the Icon of the Seas. Other people have said it is, but to us, we didn't really have any trouble finding seating on the ship at all. And there's a little view of the Hideaway pool. You can see how it's suspended there a little bit, get an idea of the depth of it. On the other side there also is seating area, lounge areas. For those wondering, there is a deck 17 that just houses a sports court. They will have basketball hoops up there. They also do pickleball. Pickleball is a huge thing these days for those that participate. That sports deck is a couple of stairs up, and it is on deck 17. Gonna walk back now towards the exits to the water slides. Also up here on deck 16 is the Flow Rider. This is the surfing simulator. You will find this on many of the Royal Caribbean ships, particularly the Oasis class ships. Can't wait. In a couple of months, we'll have my son-in-law on a cruise ship. He is a native Floridian who is very good at surfing. Can't wait to see that, get the video. Maybe he'll wipe out and then you can put the blooper up here someplace. Down here on the deck 16 on the starboard side, there's another entrance to the water slides here. And there's the Category 6 water slides. There's various rules there, height requirements, things like that, that you're going to need to pay attention to. Now here's one of the signature features on the Icon of the Seas. It's called the Crown's Edge. This is a combination of a skywalk, ropes course, and a zip line, all located within the Crown and Anchor logo. This is not free. Believe at the time of this video, the cost is about $89 a person to do it. Angela and I are not the thrill-seeking types, so we wouldn't do it for free, but it was a little pricey. Some people said it was good. If you've done the Crown's Edge, please let me know in the comments below if you think it was worth it or not. We love getting the feedback from people that have actually been on these ships as much as possible. Now, we're going to continue to walk forward on deck 16. This is also entering the Chill Island area, which was on 2 decks on 15 and 16. We have cut a lot of video out of this, believe it or not. This video could be 3 or 4 hours just showing you the different areas. So normally we like to walk you throughout entire decks. Can't do that here. But let's get let's talk about cost of the cruise ship too. We're going to give you our thoughts at the very end, but the Icon of the Seas is the one of the newest cruise ships at sea. It is massive. It is innovative. It's you think of all the adjectives you can think of, but one of the big adjectives is expensive. It is not an inexpensive cruise ship. Expect to pay for it. You're not going to get the same cost on the Icon of the Seas that you're going to get on one of the small ships or any different cruise line ships. At the very end, we'll show you a little bit of the video of the ice skating, and we'll discuss that a little bit more in depth. Another little bar up here. This is also kind of called Lime and Coconut, I think. This one had more Hurricanes frozen mixed drinks up there. You could get, beer and stuff like that as well. But this was a little bit more limited of what they had. Also, even though you may have a drink package, not everything is always included in the drink package, like the souvenir glasses and things like that, but they'll be clear about that so that you know when you're on the ship. Another new venue, another new pool. This area here is called Swim and Tonic. There are some, as you can see, some lounges there that are kind of in the water. There's also a swim-up bar in here. My opinion, this was way too small for swim bar area. I'd love to see this opened up a little bit more, make it a little bit larger. Also, this area was not adult only, so there was some children in there. They did make some switches when the ship first came out with the adult only pools in areas, but in my opinion, that pool really should have been adults only, and on future builds, I hope it's a little bit larger. Located adjacent to that area is the Suite Lounge and Coastal Kitchen. This is the suite area. Angela and I, unfortunately, did not sail in the suite lounges, and you can see she's a little upset about that. But hopefully on future cruises we will. We do have some footage of the suite areas that will probably be on a future video. We do have a couple more of the interior areas that we're going to show you. I'm going to add them on after we finish up with this spot here. But there's the music hall and the casino. They're located on deck 4. You'll see them in a couple of minutes. My apologies that the video has been a little disjointed. This has been by far the longest video I've had to edit. There was so much footage, so much going on, so many things I wanted to make sure I hit on. And as if fans of the channel know, I'm not a video editor. Retired New York City cop who is kind of trying to figure out old dog learning new tricks, as they say. The other side of the ship here up on deck 16, I'm not going to show you too much of. It's pretty much just loungers, but there are plenty of loungers. And then you can see there's a little bit of a hot tub to kind of suspend it out. So many really neat areas, a little shade there as well. But I'm not going to walk you all the way back there. I think you'll pretty much get the idea. Now, we are on deck 4. I should have mentioned the Royal Theater is on decks 4 and 5 at the very forward part of the ship. But I'm going to take it back into some very interesting venues. This is known as a music hall. They have rock music in here. We really enjoyed this. A lot of classic rock, some really good bands. We've seen we saw a U2 tribute band on the Odyssey of the Sea a few years ago. They were excellent. Some really, really good talent on Royal Caribbean ships. Got a little loud in there, but it was really good. We stopped in here several times during the cruise to check out the music, and it was very enjoyable. Located next to the music hall is the casino. We didn't film in there. It was open, as you can see at the time. It was kind of a good spot for the casino, in our opinion. We're not big casino players. So it wasn't really in the way of things. It was kind of down below, out of the way. If you wanted to find it, you could, but it wasn't something that you had to walk past all the time. We're going to show you a little bit of the entertainment as we get towards the end of this video. Before we do and tell you our final thoughts, thank you so much for watching this video. We know it's over now. We try to keep it shorter than that. There's just so much to go through on this ship. If you've gotten value out of this video, if you like it, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, comment below, and obviously subscribe to the channel so you can see future videos of ours. And it also tells YouTube, not Facebook, YouTube, that they should be showing our videos to other people, so we appreciate that. Here's a little clip of the Aqua show. Final thoughts on the Icon of the Seas. It is massive. It is huge. It is like nothing you've ever been on before. While it's really not much bigger than the Oasis class ships, it feels way bigger. The Royal Promenade is just breathtaking. It's huge. You feel like you're inside an airport, like you land a plane there. But with all of that, they've done a really, really good job of separating out the different neighborhoods. So There's no big crowds going from one place to the other, and in some ways it actually feels less crowded than many of the smaller ships we've been on, if that makes any sense. But they really do. There's plenty of venues, there's plenty of entertainment venues, there's something for everybody, plenty of food, whether it be sit-down restaurants, specialty restaurants, grab-and-go, casual. Now, let's talk about the price. I do not generally look at price and number signs when I'm booking for ourselves or our clients. Obviously, people have a budget. Not everybody's going to be able to afford this ship. It is not an inexpensive ship. There are options for everybody out there among all the cruise lines. This one happens to be on the pricier side. Now, that said, I find it's an excellent value. There's so much to do on the ship. There are so many things that other ships do not offer. The entertainment alone, if you were to pay, go to a Broadway show or go to Ice Capades or any of these things, the amount of money you pay for this entertainment is through the roof. So in my opinion, especially for families, this is fantastic. Royal Caribbean is a great choice. We love all the cruise lines pretty much equally, with the exception of one or two, which will remain nameless. And we enjoy, every cruise has a different vibe. The Icon of the Seas and soon to be the Star of the Seas is coming out. Just really knock it out of the park. So there's sticker shock in the amount that it will cost, but in our opinion, the value is there. Who is this ship for? Families, multi-generational families. Royal Caribbean does an amazing job at having plenty to do for families, with anything from toddlers to grandparents traveling together. They do a great job of it. Plenty of entertainment for everybody. Who is it not for? Now, that's a tough question. Quite honestly, although it's very accessible, for some older people, we're talking people that are really set in their ways, that are maybe a little on the grumpy side, it could be overwhelming. There's so much to do. I could definitely see people that really like the small ship experience not liking this ship, unless they give it a shot. If they give it a chance, then they might. But for elderly people that aren't traveling with families and things like that, there may be better options out there. And with that, just a really quick shout out to the travel agency community. And now, I'm a travel advisor myself. I don't use these videos to solicit business. I try to keep them separately, but I do take clients. But book through a travel advisor. They've been on these ships. They can tell you whether it's for you or not. They can help you find something within your budget, depending on the type of ship or when you travel. And they work for you. They don't work for the cruise line, and they work for free. And the $64,000 question, would we go back on the Icon of the Seas? And the answer, as this is most cruise ships, absolutely. The value is there. Budget is high. If we were doing the Icon of the Seas, we may have to cut our budget back with some of the weekend cruises and things like that, because it is, again, not inexpensive and money is not unlimited. But for the value, I mean, look at this, the entertainment that you see there with the water show. They spent a lot of money on the production of these things, and they came out fantastic. Closing out the video with the ice show, some footage from that. Again, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate your time. We kept it as close to an hour as possible, about an hour and 3 minutes. So we'll call that a success. And again, on behalf of Angela, thank you so much, and we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye-bye, everybody.